Hello friends and welcome. And in this session, right, we're going to talk about passwordless authentication between two servers using public and private keys. This is very much essential for the Linux administration because most of the times what will happen for the security purposes, you're not going to use the password, you're going to use the public and private keys. Now in this video, right, we're going to deploy two machines here. The machines will be like this. We'll have server 1 and server 2, and what I'm going to do is here I'm going to create a user called as, for example, username as Rambo, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the same user here also. Now, but if the Rambo user try to connect to that user, right, he won't be able to connect because this guy will have a different public key and private key. The other guy will also have the different public key and private key. So what exactly we're going to do is we're going to actually allow the users without using any password, right, to log into the other server. Okay, so how we're going to do that? We need two servers to play around it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the AWS to do that one. I'm going to launch the instance. I'm going to launch the instance and I'm going to select Ubuntu here, and I'm going to always select the T2 micro. I'm going to select two machines. Okay, and I'm going to select like this, and I'm going to add storage, add tags. I'm going to give the name as test server -1. Later I'm going to change it to server 2 as well. Configure security group. I'm going to select my default allow all security group, and review and launch, and I'm going to launch it. Okay, so I have two machines which are running. You can see like test server 1 and both are showing as a test server 1, so I'm going to change it to test server 2. Yeah. So once the machine is up and running, right, I'm going to open the Putti session and I'm connect to both these servers. Okay, server 2 is up and running, and I have server 1 which is going to up in few more minutes. Okay, yes, it is up. So let's connect to this machine. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to open Putti session, Linux videos. I'm going to log in using this one. Done. So I'm going to change my context to root. Right now I'm in Ubuntu. I'm in root. Okay, so let's try to log into the second machine, which is test user server 2, and I'm trying to go here and I try to log in. And again I'm going to change it, but let me tell you, I'm going to change this color to a different color. For example, I'm going to change this color to yellow so that easy for me to identify. Okay, good. So if you see, I have two machines. One is a blue machine, the other one is a yellow machine. Now one is having an IP address of 10.11234, the other one has IP address of 10.136. Okay, now I'm going to create two users here. For example, something like this, user add. I'm going to hit enter. It will give you a lot of switches. I'm going to use the switch -m actually to create a root folder. So I'll say user add -m. I'm going to give a user called Rambo, and cat etc password, and it will show me right here. It is showing like so the Rambo. Now similarly I'm going to use the same command here. So user add -m Rambo. So that the reason I gave -m is if I type ls-home, right, home directory, you will see there is a home directory created for Rambo. If you don't give that one, normally it won't create. Okay, let's do one thing. So user add, I'll simply say hello. Okay, or sorry, I typed hell. So normally what will happen is you don't have hello, check it out, because if you use the switch -m, then only it will create the home folder. Fine. So now if I want to switch to that Rambo user, I can simply say su-Rambo. See, the prompt has changed from root to Rambo. Similarly, su-Rambo. Rambo. Now what exactly I'm trying to do is from the server 10.11234 I want to log into server 10.1.136 using the Rambo. So what I can do, if I type SSH Rambo at the rate Rambo at the rate and try to give 10.1.136, right? So 10.1.1.36. So what exactly is happening? So it is asking to confirm, but if you see, it is actually denying you. It's not allowing you to log in. Similarly, if I try it from yellow to here, I'll say Rambo or SSH Rambo at the rate, I'll say 10.1.1.234 actually, which is this hour, right? If I hit enter, if I give S, right, so it won't allow you. So how can I establish this one? So you can have the password authentication. I'll create a separate folder, how to separate video, sorry, how you enable the password authentication and create different users. But still right now we are going to use a public key and private key. So what is a public key and private key? I'm going to give an example or analogy. See, public key, this is actually called as a combination of a public and private key is called as a key pair. Okay, so similarly in the key pair you have a public key which is actually similar to the lock actually. You know the lock, right? Whenever you go home you put the lock, yeah, Godrej lock, whatever lock. And I'm going to say private key is the key which you're going to use it to log in. So when you generate a public and private key pair, it's going to create a public key and private key. How I'm going to do that? So first I'll go here. Right now if you see, I'm right now in PWD, which is a home folder. If I type ls-al, you can see there is a by default .ssh is a folder is created, but you don't have anything in that one. What I mean is you don't have anything in that SSH. So similarly if I copy this and paste it here, you don't have anything apart from that some file, known host file, nothing is there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a command called ssh hyphen key. I'm going to put key, hit the tab, or put G and hit the tab. It's going to autofill saying that ssh hyphen keygen. Hit enter. Now it is saying that one, it is going to create a public and private key pair. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter, 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 and it's going to create me a public and private key. How do I know? So if I type ls-al ssh, right, you will see two additional files when compared to the previous time we checked. It is id_rsa, id_rsa pub. So pub stands for, it's a public key. I can go cat .ssh pub. You can see this is the public key, this is the lock actually. If I remove that pub, right, then this is the private key. So what we'll do, we use the private key to log into the servers actually. Similarly, I'm going to run ssh hyphen keygen, hit enter, 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 and it will create a public and private key dot ssh. You see you have id_rsa_ pub. I'm going to say cat dot ssh id_, this is a public file, public key, and this is a private key. Okay, so we have created public and private keys in both the servers. Okay, fine. Still our issue is not resolved, guys. Our issue is not what exactly is our issue. If I type ssh, if I go to Rambo at what is the IP of this server, 10.1.1.36, 10.1.1.36, I should be able to log in, but it is giving me permission denied. Likewise, if I say ssh here at the rate of 10.1.1.234, and you're getting the same error. So how can we solve this? So now what I'm going to do is, I'll go into the ssh folder, and I'm going to create a file called authorized keys actually. I'm going to go, if you want you can Google around. So I'll say Linux authorized keys actually. So you will get a lot of details, but I simply copy this name, authorized keys, and if I go here, I'm going to create touch, hit enter. So what it will do, it will create a file. If I type ll, right, you see authorized, nothing is there, by the way. If I go to cat and authorized keys, nothing, it's an empty file. So don't worry, it's fine. So I'm going to copy this, go to the lo as well. I'm going to cd.ssh and I'm going to create this. Okay, done. So it is there. Now let me do the magic. First thing I want to do is I want to able to log in from blue to yellow. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cat and read the public key, copy the public key. If you highlight in Putti, it will automatically copy. Come here, nano, I will open the nano authorized keys and I'm going to paste it here. Control O, enter, Control X. Okay, so cat authorized keys, you can see this here. Now what I can do is I can do something like this. If I try to log in SSH Rambo at the rate of what is IP address 10.11.36, still you will get the error, by the way, 10.1.1.36. Ah, good. So if you see, I'm able to log in. Check it out, guys. Okay, I thought I'll get an error. Okay, anyway, so if you see, I'm able to log in. How do I know? If I type if config, right, now you can see 10.1.136. If I go to bash, it should give me bash actually. So if you see, right now I'm in 10.1.1.36. okay, 10.1.36. I just type W and hit enter. You can see that there are two connections. One is a Rambo user was being logged in from 10.1.1.234. okay, see, this is the machine, right, 234. If I exit it, for example, if I come exit and exit, now I'll come back to 32. If I type W, this time I won't be there. So let me try it again. Okay, so what I can do, I can give SSH Rambo 10.1.1.36. What exactly happened when I hit enter? It uses the private key and checks here whether the public key is there. If I go to authorized keys, it will find the public key here is allowed, so it is able to log in. So let's try it again. Hit enter, done. So if I say here, I'm actually in 10.1.36. So I'm able to log in. Hit W, I can see there was a login coming from here. Okay, now let's type vice versa from yellow to blue actually. So I'm going to exit. I'm going to exit. I'll go back to 10.1.234. Similarly, if I try to log in from here at the starting, SSH Rambo at the rate 10.1.1.234. So if you see, it is actually not allowing me to log in. So what I'll do, cat id rsa pub, I'm going to copy the public IP. So there are different methods we can do that. I'm trying to show you the simple ways actually. And I'm going to nano, okay, nano, and I'm going to authorized keys and I'm going to paste it here, Control O, enter, Control X. Okay, good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is from here, let's try to log in, which is SSH Rambo at the rate 10.1.1.234. Hit enter and you can see you logged in. If I type host name, I can see 10.1.234. If I type W here, you can see there is a login coming from Rambo on 10.1.36 machine, that is this machine. Okay, so this machine I'm getting the the login. So this is how you can actually have a password. See, I didn't use any password, guys. Simply I'm not using any password, right? I can use the public key and private key. I can do that one. Okay, now going to the next, right? Okay, I don't want to do in such a way. What I want to do is I want to create a new user. So right now I'm in root. Let me tell you, I want to create a new user called as Ubuntu. Okay, and I don't want to generate the public and private key here. We can actually do a public and private key in a different way. What I'm going to do is from outside. No need to type SSH keygen. We can use the Putti gen to do that. Let me do one thing. I'm going to create a user called as Shri. Okay, I'll say mkdir. Sorry, user add hyphen m. I'm going to give Shri, and I'm going to run the same user Shri. Okay, so cat etc password. Okay, I have Shri. Okay, cat etc both blue and yellow. I have Shri user created. Okay, pretty good. I'm good with this one. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I want to generate a public key and private key outside. So before that, I'm going to su hyphen Shri cd.ssh. If you don't have SSH, by default you don't have SSH folder, check it out. So what I can do, I can create simplify write SSH hyphen keygen. It will create a folder for me. So what I do, I just hit enter, but I'm not going to use that ID and password, guys. I mean, I'm not going to use the private and public key. I just want to create a folder. I write SSH keygen, but what I'm going to do is I just want the folder. I go inside, and if you see, I'm going to remove everything. So rm hyphen f, I'll say id star mark. I deleted both the files. Similarly cd.ssh. Okay, rm. So I have two files. I'm going to remove that public file. Okay, rm hyphen f. Sorry, I mean su hyphen shri. Yes, ssh hyphen. I need to run here actually to create that folder. Good. So cd.ssh, I'm going to see two files, rm hyphen f id star deleted. So excellent. Okay, let's do one thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder here. I'll say that touch. It is empty file, by the way, don't worry. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create a touch give a file here. Good, but it is empty, right? It's nothing. It's nothing. There is nothing. Cat authorized, there is nothing. Now what I'm going to create a public key and private key. How I'm going to do that? I need to go to something called as a Putti gen. Also I give here, I'll say Putti download. And go to this second one. And you need to download something called as Putti generator actually. So a Rsa Dsa Generation Utility. Okay, so you can actually download. I already have it, guys, so I really not going to download it. So if I go to downloads, I should be able to, yeah, this is Putti gen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on generate, and I'm going to move my mouse here, by the way, so that if you don't move the mouse it won't go. Just so do something like so. What it will do is it will create a public key. Just copy that public key, just copy and save this one as well. Click on save private key. Just copy that, it will be in the clipboard, or you can copy and go back here, open the nano authorized keys, paste it here, Control O, enter, Control X, again go to the other one, nano authorized keys, paste it here. That's it. So if I go authorized keys, you can see the key which we are using. Sorry, cat authorized keys. You have this public key. Now you need to save the private key, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on save private key. Click on yes. I'm going to say the user sri.ppk. I'm going to put that in downloads is fine. So I'm going to save it. Okay, done. I'm going to close everything, and I'm going to close these two as well. Now I want to log in using the Sri user. So how I'm going to do that? Let's try if it works or may not work, but we'll check it. It should work actually. So I'm going to copy this, open, just do one thing. I'll go here, give Sri first server @ give it, and also you need to change the key, by the way. Go here, browse. and downloads, right? I should have S3 actually. Yeah, S3 ppk. Select this, open, and click on open. See, that's it. So if I give host name, you can see the host name, you can see the come on name, you can see the host name. If I type bash, I'll get the bash. Okay, so that's it. Similarly, I'm going to log into the second server, guys. So this is how you can set the passwordless authentication, as well as you can also create your own users in AWS actually. Yeah, I'm going to go here, Sri @ additional users if you want to create it. So you just use a public key and private key, and you can give how many users. You don't need to rely on AWS to create a public and private key. You can create your own. See, done. So bash hostname, see 10.1.136, which is the IP, as well as the other one will be 10.1.234. That's it. So this is how we can configure the passwordless authentication. So once your lab is done, right, what you can do, you can select and terminate the instances, but I need to create a few more videos, so I'm not going to terminate. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Let's meet up in different video and talking about a different thing. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.